kind of stuff going on here? What do you want to start with, Colin? You were the leader of the grab bag.
The first thing I want to talk about is the moral and ethics involved in returning your shopping cart.
Okay, yeah.
Because this reminded me of something. We were talking right before we
Right.
went about the homeless problem and shopping carts and shit, that and the other thing, and trying to get money from the state or whatever. But
It's a whole deal.
do you return your shopping carts to the shopping cart return every time?
Absolutely.
Who taught you to do that, or did you just do it because it was the right thing to do?
I started doing that as an adult because it irritated me to see them in the parking lot. There isn't a
Amen.
reason to not put them in the thing.
In New York, it was a problem because there's so many fucking people, right? In like when I lived in Long Island, and it would be a problem where people would stack them. Somebody would leave a cart in like the middle of a spot, and then more people would put the carts together because it would be easier for the cart guy to come pick up. But then that eventually spreads, and so there's like 4 parking spots that aren't fucking available anymore because they're all fucking full of carts.
God.
I hate that shit. Because, I watch a lot of pop culture crisis these days.
Yes.
And the albino goth girl, I think is what they dub her or something like that, Mary, she has this weird thing about, like, I don't return shopping carts, and I never will. So fuck off. Somebody gets paid to collect that shit. And so now I like to judge people on whether or not they return their fucking cart or not. Is there a distance you will not walk to return a cart?
No.
Home Depot gets weird.
No, I strategically park next to the cart return.
That seems dangerous to me.
Why?
Because some people go, wow, with the return of the shopping cart, and they'll just let shit fly, and I've seen people's cars get hit.
I've literally never considered it.
Ooh. How many dents you got in your car?
None.
Nah.
None. I've never considered it. I have kids, so I don't want to walk that far away from my car when I turn the car back in. That's my deal. So that's why
that's a good decision.
That. We also live in Washington. It rains a lot, so I would
be
rather
close.
walk a shorter distance. And I always have a cart now. I didn't always have a cart before. I have kids. I always have a cart now.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're going to run in to grab a thing, you always grab the cart because they need a seat.
Yes.
Do they hang out in the seat pretty well?
Yeah, Dax will sit in the big part now sometimes.
Nice.
And usually we take reasonable front packer. It's just easier that way for one of us.
She's not big enough yet to sit in the front thing, I think, right?
No, not quite yet. Yeah. She's getting there, but
yeah. Always and forever, it's simply the right thing to do. During my training for FA, that was actually an example of doing the right thing. I love it.
It's really funny.
It's a good level of
very easy,
to show if you're a piece of shit human or not.
Right.
Do you return your shopping carts? And if you know somebody and a friend of yours and they do not return their shopping carts, you should judge them and then berate them until they return their shopping carts.
I think Trenton's more of the person that would rather hold too much shit in his arms than have a shopping cart.
Interesting.
He's more that guy.
I'm gonna sneeze now.
Bless you.
Fuck.
Bless you.
Sorry.
No.
I had a thing there I could have used.
While you're recovering,
yes.
Joe Kent is not conceding. He says, we're making progress, down by 1.5% or 4,621 votes. There are still 12,000 votes left to count, plus 6,000 votes to cure. This is not over. So...
Call my race, bitch.
So
see what
Seattle
happens.
Times is calling it, but he's saying that there's still plenty of votes left. So they're only down 4,600 votes, and there's 12,000 votes left to count.
Oh.
And 6,000 left to cure.
Come on, bud. What is a curing vote?
I have no idea.
So curing vote is when there are votes set aside because they have errors on them.
Okay.
And so they will attempt to make contact with the person who that vote belongs to and get them they'll have them try to fix their ballot so that it is a, quote, legal ballot at that point. It seems to me that I don't think that's necessary, and that if you're not smart enough to fill out your ballot correctly, you probably shouldn't be voting.
Well, as someone who has had a ballot returned to them, it was over my signature, not the way that I filled the ballot out. I had one returned to me after
So that's a good point, because you did cure your own ballot at that point.
Right.
I did. By doing your signature thing.
They sent it back, and they sent it with another piece of paper that said, sign this one also. They didn't send me my ballot back. They sent me another piece of paper that told me that my signature didn't match, and they wanted me to sign another piece of paper. So I think I signed it twice, and then I sent the paper back. So that is simply an example of one way in which someone can fuck their ballot up. My signature
Gotcha.
is not good. It's
Yeah.
There's no clarity to it.
That makes
So
sense.
it
Well, yeah,
doesn't
because we're
surprise me
not
that-
of that era where your signature had to be like. I don't want to say this on the street, but you know the thing that happened with the signature
right.
the other day,
Right.
and I was like, this because she grew up in that era where like
Right.
it's a fucking call sign, and literally she can do it 1,000 times and it's the same every goddamn time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
No.
impressive.
Mine's different every time.
Every time, dude.
Because it's a D and squiggles.
And there's no
P
way
and
you can
squiggles.
read my name.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
That's not the way this
Most
works.
of the time, mine looks like two Ds. Is this your signature?
Double
it's mine. I know
Ds.
what it is. So, but that's it. Only because I know what it looks like.
It's just a
Yeah,
D
that's
with a
it.
long tail, right, for the P?
D. I mean, it just depends on how hard I swoop it. You know what I'm saying? If I just go too hard, it turns into a second D, and I just still squiggle it out. I'm not going to start it over. But there's two dots over it. There's no raises for I's or L's, but there's two I's and two L's in my last name. It's all
Just
it's a
it's
P
a line.
and a squiggle. There is no raises for I's or L's. There's two dots above it to indicate that there are two I's in my name.
All right, so coming from the man with two D's, I think Joseph has a great point here.
you can't block my driver door for me.
The
I
one
can
up
only-
before that. If available, I park with the driver door next to the cart return.
Yeah.
Because you cannot block my driver door from me.
Yes.
I can always get in and drive. That is a very, very smart decision because as a man that used to drive an actual vehicle, I could barely fit in fucking parking spots.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if somebody comes next. If I drive the fucking total line, which is a stupid small parking lot, and I do not understand how that shit fits the goddamn
So where
county
the
code.
Xfinity place is. I'll tell you about that next if you want. I gave that bitch the
Oh,
business.
yes.
I gave that bitch the business.
But like even with a giant ass truck, some people will park irresponsibly close
Yeah.
to the other line, and
They're
you're like, "You got
assholes.
this tiny ass fucking thing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I got to get in through my passenger door."
And I will do that a little bit because I'll do the opposite of what Joseph does next to the cart return.
Driver's side out.
Because Dax's car seats to accommodate a car seat because I have to put a kid or
You want the
thing.
working room.
Yes. So I will do the opposite. So I try and park right in the middle because, especially if there's all four of us, because we both have to get in and out and we both have children in the back seat. But if it's just me and Dax, then I will try and park next to the cart return and put his door next to the cart return so that I have more room to get him in and out. And then I can just put the car right in.
That's the one thing I will always respect about Walmart parking lots is they're always way too big.
Yeah.
And so like if I want to have room,
park in the
I just
back.
park in the back.
Yeah.
That's nice. If
Yeah.
you got a really nice car, some people do that. Really nice cars, they put them out in the back because they don't want anybody to come near
And they're
them.
parking like 4 spots.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
which
seen
is
that. A little excessive, but and I'll park and I don't mind walking at all. So I'll park deep in the parking lot.
the curb works too, pull in, or I like to always back in if possible.
Back in for sure. Back in is a pro move, Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
1,000% back in.
Yeah.
Driving Tundra, pro move.
Pro move.
Absolutely pro move.
It's always way easier to pull out because then there's always some dumbass.
1,000,000%.
You start slowly backing out, and some dumbass thinks I'm gonna like whoop, zip behind you. And you're like, bitch.
Yeah.
Or some crazy ass grandma not paying attention. You're like, I'm gonna kill this old lady. Damn.
Always
I gotta
back
slow
in.
down.
Even in a car, no matter what, backing in is the pro move. No matter what.
I like to pull through.
I think backing in is
Cheaping.
always the move.
No, pull through. I don't back in. I just
Yeah.
I find one where
Oh,
I can
and that-
drive
yeah,
through.
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cheater
Okay.
way. What's
Yeah.
up?
That's the pro move.
That's
That's the
right.
pro move. Yeah.
Looking for fucking ways to game the system, bro.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about Xfinity.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, God,
This was an experience.
it's dumb. So
On
I
the
went
level
to-
compared to the one-armed.
No. Not anywhere
that one?
near that bad. That was wild. No, nowhere near that bad.
You know, one day soon you're gonna have to retell that
The
story
Dave and
because it's been
Buster's.
too long. Yeah.
I'll retell the Dave and Buster's
Another day.
at some point. After Thanksgiving. If someone here remembers to say the Dave and Buster's to ask me about it, I will retell the Dave and Buster's story.
You
about
accosted a one-handed man,
I did.
and he deserved it.
I got my money back. That's all I can say. So, yeah, I'll retell that story the next time.
No, I
we're
think
here.
we should just leave it there because that's great. Trailer worthy.
No, you can move the vehicle out to collect passengers. You need that driver door, even if you have to pull in.
That's right.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
right. Yeah.
So I went to the Xfinity place. We had to get our Wi-Fi, our internet shit, and Jordan has been setting up all the bills because she's at home. So she did all that, and so she set up the Xfinity, and she called on Friday before what?
It just makes it. It is what it is, obviously, because that's how it works. But like, you make the money, she spends the money.
Oh,
I mean but it's logistically
in fairness,
that's how it works.
I ask her to do all that shit because I don't want to deal with it while I'm at work. But yes. She called on Friday before I left work to make sure that I was on the Xfinity account so that I could go there. So she calls me and tells me I talked to this woman, and it was an old Southern woman, and like, you can't call the Xfinity store. It only sends you to, this customer service place and all this type of stuff. So she tells me about the conversation because it was an annoying conversation that she had, right?
It's an average conversation.
So
with
I
Comcast.
know explicitly that she had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go into the Xfinity store. I tell the woman, hey, I'm just here to pick up this stuff. They already have it bagged up.
You mean like
right?
the modem and the router and stuff, right?
It's already in a bag.
Yep.
Right? So she brings it over. She scans it. She looks at my ID, and she's like, so I actually need, I was like, yeah, it's under my wife's name. So I actually need her to go online and add you as like a manager or whatever to the Xfinity account, and then I can give you the stuff. Said, she called this morning, so why would she need to do this? She said, she called. Well, it's good that you said that. So she's holding a tablet when she does this stuff. So then she goes to a computer that's there, and she says, the customer service stuff is separate from, these other things that we're doing. So, or from the stuff that we do in the store. So the customer service stuff is all on this computer and not on this tablet. So it's good that you said that, right? So then she's looking through there and she's like, yeah, and I don't see anything. She's like, it should be a note in this account. I don't see anything on here. I said, well, it said the same thing I just told you. She told me explicitly about this conversation. Like, I know that she called, So she's like, yeah, so if you just call her and you ask her to, like, log into her Xfinity account and like add you to the account, then I can give you the stuff. I said, let me ask you, what is the point in her calling if now that I am here, she has to go online and add me to the account? She's like, well, the customer service stuff runs differently than the stuff that we do here. So what I'm asking you, what is the point of calling if now that I am here, you are telling me that she needs to log in and do more work and add me to the account? As I'm saying this stuff, she's like, okay, actually, I found it. I'm starting an attitude because I'm fucking irritated, right? She's like, actually, I found, okay, she added your name to the title in the account, so the title in the account is Donavan Jordan Phillips. I don't fucking care. Is my name on the account? She's like, yeah, so in the future, if you guys want to do anything else, like, she's going to need to, log in and, like, edit this thing. I said, so you're telling me that you can give me the equipment now? I said, so, but for what reason? Again, what is the point in calling if you are now telling me for me to do anything else? She needs to log in and do more work. It's like, yeah, it's just different systems. She's like, and it's okay now because you're just picking up equipment. But if you were going to come in and like change your whole account or like do anything like that, you would have to be like administrator on the account. I said, okay, so I'm asking you again, what is the point in calling if now that I am here, she has to do more work to add me to the account? She then repeats that, though they're just different systems and, like they're just different. I said, it just is really confusing because if the goal is customer service, why would the customer have to do more work after she already called to add me to the account and you're telling me that I am on the account? It's like, yeah, no, I totally understand. She's like, they keep telling us they're going to get rid of this computer, but they don't. I said, okay, so again, I'm asking you because you're not answering my question. And she just says, so I ask her the fucking same question again. And she's like, yeah, no, I understand. Like, people say that all the time. I said, okay, so if customer service is the goal, and I stopped because she's standing there. She's obviously getting a little bit uncomfortable. And I said, I'm not coming to you because I understand you didn't make this decision. I said, but what I'm asking you, and you are not answering, is if customer service is the goal, why would you construct a system where the customer has to do more work when I am already here? So I work and I have 2 children. That's why I'm here without my wife now. Why does that make a more cohesive customer service experience? She said, I totally understand what you're saying. Okay, bye. And I grabbed my shit and I left. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You have to be fucking kidding me. What's the fucking point? What is the fucking point in calling if now that I am here, she has to go online? Don't be an asshole. I'm not being an asshole. That's not ridiculous for me to ask you. What's the fucking point? What is the point? For you to not answer and say, I understand. I don't give a fuck if you understand. Do you understand my fucking question? What is the fucking point in calling if she has to go online now?
There is no point.
What is the fucking point? There isn't one. There is no point. They keep telling us they're going to take the computers. Then take the fucking computer out. It's not my problem. What is the fucking point?
I think the one thing you're failing to understand here, Donovan, is that Comcast is consistently rated number 1 in the worst customer service on the planet.
Eat my ass.
Go online while you're on the phone, bro.
Yeah, fuck
Do
you.
that. I need 2 things happening at once.
I'm telling you, so yeah, I totally understand. Do you fucking understand though? Because I'm asking you a question that you're not fucking answering.
I don't think she understands the words that you're saying.
I was furious.
I could tell.
And I was in the trails, and apparently the holidays are fucking in because it took me 10 minutes to find a place to park in the fucking trails.
Bro.
Are you joking?
Well, it's the worst parking lot known to man.
So after I got crazy irritated from trying to find a fucking
They
parking
could work
spot,
you through your issues.
then is when I went and had this interaction with this woman, and I just was like, sorry to fucking tell you, but you caught me on the wrong day. What's the fucking point? She absolutely thought that I was an asshole. I'm like, I get what you're saying. I understand. I get why you would think that. But what I'm saying is that
It took me 10 minutes to
answered
fucking
my
park.
fucking question yet is what's the fucking point? She wouldn't even say there isn't one, which is fine. If that's the answer, then say that. There isn't one. It's convoluted. I don't know what to tell you. Then fucking say that. You have a badge. I'm a manager. I'm all the shit. Then tell me it's a fucking convoluted system. I don't understand it.
Yep.
Do something about it then. It's not my fucking problem that you can't figure your shit out or that Comcast sucks. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Give me the fucking modem and let me go. Change the shit. You're telling me you can see my name on the account. Why do I need to be a special administrator if my name is half of the name of the title? Do I? What's the fucking point? There isn't one. It doesn't make any sense.
There's no
you
point.
bet your ass I'm not fucking logging in. I'm not adding it. When I go there, if I have to go there, I'm not changing fucking shit. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say the same fucking thing I said this time. If my name is on the fucking account, what is the fucking point of going online? And if they don't say shit, it's going to be a fucking problem. I swear to God, I will not, nor will I allow my wife, and I'm saying it, for everybody who's fucking pulling it 20 years from now, I will not allow my wife to add my fucking name as an administrator of that account because my name is on the fucking account. No, it's your problem there, man. To help you with.
It's just, I'm so excited. Donovan, tell me how you really feel about this.
I can't. So, very small thing, but I was fucking livid, and I drove from, you know how far I live from the trails? Literally 2 minutes from the house. Complained the entire time on the phone with Jordan. It's like, you're not going to believe the experience that I just had. I probably talked for longer than the interaction was about how negative the interaction was. And they have annotated your account on the... Okay,
Yeah, you're a difficult customer now.
I don't give a fuck. I used to... My very first job was...
At the call center, baby.
Was at the call. I absolutely know how it works.
I think that's what rubs you raw most about customer service is you're like, bro, I know what you're doing.
I know how simple it is. And I don't mean like your job is so simple. I mean for you to do what I'm asking, I know how simple that is. That's what I'm saying. I've been into explicit interactions with people on the phone at AT&T when I found out that they used the same systems that we did when I worked for Sprint. So I knew the buttons and the locations on the screen of the different things that I was asking about. So when they were telling me they couldn't do something, I said, so you're using this, Citrix or whatever the fuck system is? I'm like, yeah, for sure. I said, okay, so when you go to this particular tab, so you're telling me that this button is grayed out. It's not an option. That says this. That button is not there. It was like, well, no, it's there. I'm just not supposed to. Okay, so fuck you. You have the power.
Hit the button.
Click the button and do it. I'm not going online to do it myself. It's always the online service stuff. It's always when they're telling me, well, you can go online and do it yourself. I'm standing in front of you. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I will not go on the computer when I'm in front of a person right now. I won't do it. I have a Washington State valid driver's license right here that you can see has my fucking face on it. I'm not doing it. I will not do it. I will not fucking do it.
You need to commit to the dehumanization of society, Donovan.
I will not do it. I will not do it. All of it you can do on your own. You call customer service to walk your SIM blast through it. No.
No, you did it on principle because you don't understand that they do not want to help you.
This is what happened, Joseph. My wife called the customer service to add me to the account so I could go and pick up the equipment. That's what happened. I don't need help. They already did it. That's what I'm saying. It's already done. You're not gonna get me, Joseph. I know the customer service game works. So you're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. I know how it works. Sprint Business was excellent customer service. I worked in traditional customer care. It was a horrific job. He did a lot of good stuff for me. It was a horrific job.
So,
I won't go online, Joseph. I will not do it.
You're fucking old.
I won't do it.
You're Ike's soul brother, bro. That's how that works. I'm gonna get you a T-shirt made for your fucking birthday, Christmas.
I almost, if I would have stayed in that place any longer, I would have had to take my car jacket off. I was getting hot. I was getting frustrated. I was getting irritated. This woman not fucking. If you
just commit to the dehumanization of society, you wouldn't have to deal with humans anymore.
You know how much I can't stand like being ignored. And I'm asking this woman like a very direct, pointed question.
What's up, kitty cat?
What is the point of doing this if this? And she literally didn't even acknowledge it. She just was like, yeah, I totally understand. That's the most I got of an acknowledgement is, yeah, I totally understand. But you don't, because you're not answering the question I'm asking you is, why am I doing these things?
You ever seen the movie Gran Torino?
Absolutely not. I have seen that movie. That's not even close. Not even close.
No, give it a couple of years, but you'll be there. You're well on your way, bud.
If I used a slur or a derogatory term, I don't think I swore even one time.
That's the one key thing about that movie. He's obviously a little.
I might have said. No, I don't think so, because I don't immediately escalate to fuck. If I'm from not swearing to, I don't like immediately do that. So I was gonna say I might have said like, "What's the fucking point?" But I wouldn't go from 0 to 100 like that.
I didn't immediately go from 0 to fuck,
no,
but
not like that. I wouldn't do that. I'm pretty good. I'm not as good about it on the show because we host the show together. I half own it.
We drink beers and things.
But when I'm interacting in a business sense like that, I'm pretty good about.
I got way more bang for my buck in this story. I was not anticipating this level of
fucking animosity. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
No, because the long story short is that, and not long story, but at the end of the day, I got the fucking modem and I went home and I set it up. It's at the new house right now. So I have internet.
Also,
and it's called, I'm out here.
Yes. And
fuck that bitch.
I'm really glad. Well, we're going to have to, we'll have to look about it for Studio 1B.
I'm going to have to move the modem anyway because
Comcast modems are notoriously terrible. But we'll take a look because of the upload speeds and stuff like that. We'll do some technical diagnostic.
Well, I tell you,
work,
we just got standard shit right now. Once we have a studio built in there, I will call and reevaluate and tell them this is specifically what I need as far as upload speeds and whatnot.
Yeah, hopefully you get this really cool dude that I had because honestly, I'm
not afraid to give him the fucking business.
I've had Comcast more than I would care to say because generally speaking, it's the only place you can get it. But I used to have Dix. Or no, Cox. I had Cox.
I had Dix. That's hilarious.
It's the same shit. Dix, Cox, it's all the same shit. But yeah, when I was on she probably was outside or drank water or something. Congratulations. But yeah, when I was in the Northeast, I had Cox, which was great. They had amazing customer service, and you could go into a store and anything that you needed to happen would happen. It was amazing. And then I had Wave when I lived in Silverdale / Bremerton.
Right.
I lived on the wrong side of the street, so I technically had a Bremerton address instead of a Silverdale one. But
pretty good.
Wave was pretty good. But honestly, living here was the very first time I ever had multiple consecutive positive interactions with Comcast. It is a weird deal, and I was kind of trepidatious to even say that now because now it's probably going to change. But every time I've called about the service here or wanted to increase speed, you do the whole fucking package. I got you're not going to pay the same amount of money that I have for my package here unless you talk to my dude who I talked to because the dude gave me a fucking deal on the thing. But it's weird because generally speaking, nothing but negative interactions with Comcast.
It was not good
until I moved here, and it's like, this is a fucking unicorn of a place.
Well, hopefully it gets better from here on out because this fucking woman in the Xfinity store, I could have I just
that poor woman.
I could have.
I could
her.
just.
It was.
I could have struck her.
was horrific.
Jesus Christ.
It was horrific.
So now that you're all tuned up,
Yes.
let's talk about COVID amnesty. Hey everybody, Colin here from Salt the Streets. Thank you for watching today's edition of Salty Shorts. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to check out the full episode right here on the Salt of the Streets YouTube channel. Please give us a like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share this with all your friends. And you too can become a spreader of the message of liberty. Thanks.
Welcome to the Salt of the Streets, coming at you